Comments? And I don't want people staying here too late because I don't want you to slide off the road there. All right, questions and comments? We got Misty, you got a mic? Who else has a mic? All right, Bill, you got a mic? Okay, questions? All right, I see a hand right there, sir. Here, wait for the mic. Give us your name, please.
Hi, my name's Jeremy. I'm a resident of Centerville, Iowa. I understand that climate change cannot be fixed by policy alone, okay? In order to fix climate change, we actually need to take action. What actions are you encouraging your supporters to go out and do to actually help fix the problem of climate change? Because it can't be done just by policy alone.
Well, policy helps every person be involved in the solution. Let me give you an example. A few years ago, I think about 3 years ago, my wife and I put solar panels up on our house. And here's the point. We had the money to buy the solar panels. And the result of that is that our electric bill in Vermont went down by about 80 or 90%, okay? I want everybody in America, so we save money. Over a period of time, we'll pay off our investment in solar panels, I don't know, 6, 7 years, and then we get free electricity, or virtually free electricity. I want everybody, I could afford to do that. I want everybody in America to be able to do that, to get the upfront money they need to put solar panels up on their roof, which will help us significantly in reducing climate change and save you money on your electric bill, okay? In Vermont, like Iowa, the weather gets pretty cold. And we have many older buildings, as you do in Iowa, that are poorly insulated, that are energy inefficient. We got wind whistling through people's homes. I brought in a substantial sum of money in Vermont to help people retrofit their homes. And I will never forget being in the homes of 2 older women. They were sisters living together, and we saved them 50% on their fuel bills because we retrofitted their home, more insulation, better windows, better roofing. We do that all over America. We put people to work doing that. We build the insulation and the windows and the roofing in the United States. You put more people to work, and we save you money on your fuel bill. All right? So those are transportation, the same thing. We have to rebuild our transportation system and our rail system. We are way behind other countries around the world. All right? If you want to keep cars off the road, have good freight rail and strong passenger rail. We got a long way to go in that. Put people to work doing that. We should be moving toward hybrids and electric vehicles. Create a whole lot of jobs producing those vehicles. So my point is everybody in the country, all of us, are going to have to play a role in making this country more energy efficient and moving to sustainable energy. Okay, other questions? Yep, I see a hand over there. Can you hold that mic a little bit closer, please?
I'm Riley, electrician at IBEW Local 13 here in Southeast Iowa. Before I joined the union, I had my 4-year apprenticeship at non-union ABC. A couple things I want you to comment on. I felt like we did not get a good education, and part of that reason is we had about 50 kids or guys in our class to one professor, and it's 1 day a week, so you can tell that for a hands-on trade, you didn't get a lot of one-on-one, other than learning in the field. And second, at my non-union contractor, when I finished my 4-year apprenticeship, I was making less than what our first-year apprentices make. Aside from organizing everybody, what can you say to help in that?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the work you're doing. And by the way, I have been to, if my memory is correct, and I think it is, IBEW apprentice programs in various parts of the country. A couple of years ago, we had the ambassador from Germany coming into the United States. I don't know if you know that, But in Germany, they have a very, very strong apprenticeship program. And what I said a moment ago, is not everybody wants to go to college. There are enormously important jobs to be done in our economy, which pay people really good wages if they have the training and the skills to do those jobs. So we have got to greatly expand apprenticeship programs. In Germany, what they do is they take kids out of school partially, and they are training those kids and paying those kids when they are in school. They're earning a paycheck early on. So I love, and I have seen a number of union apprenticeship programs. You're looking at maybe the strongest pro-union member of the United States Congress. We look forward to working with the unions in developing those apprenticeship programs. And I want to show how everything is related to everything else. What we want to do in terms of criminal justice is invest in our kids in jobs and education. All right, if we had good apprenticeship programs in the schools, there are a lot of kids who are thinking about dropping out now who would get to work with their hands, get the training that they need, and the decent jobs that are out there. So look forward to us working closely with unions on those apprenticeship programs.
For safety and for their safety.
Well, unlike the Trump administration, we'll probably enforce the law. Bill?
Hey, thanks, Bernie. Zach Simonson. I'm the chair of the Wapello County Democratic Party, by the way. I wanted to welcome you here. I took it hard this week when I watched the UK election results. And there are a lot of people now that say, oh, Jeremy Corbyn, he was an old guy, the kids loved him, and look what happened. And they're comparing you, and they're saying we can't go down that
I am shocked that the corporate media would do that. See, we much prefer to be ignored, which is often the case. Because when we're not ignored, you get those things. Look, Corbyn is Corbyn. The UK elections are the UK elections. We're not quite dealing with Brexit here and the other issues that impact the UK. So look, it goes without saying that we have gotten the establishment and the corporate media very, very nervous, all right? Because they're catching on that we have a good chance not only to win the nomination, but to defeat Trump. And that's not something that they want to see. So look, you can expect that in the weeks and the months to come, you're going to hear a lot of ugly stuff. That's the way politics is, unfortunately. Take it with a grain of salt. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Karen.
Okay, Karen, we're going to get you a mic here in a second. Yes, stay down. You don't have to stand up if you want.
My name is Karen, and I'm wondering how would your administration repair the damage that has been done by the current administration with our allies and with NATO and the world?
Thank you. That's a very big issue. What is really quite amazing is in a nation which historically has been a leader in democracy and human rights, which has stood with democratic countries all over the world, we now have a president who is kind of unabashedly an admirer of authoritarian governments. Hold it. Excuse me. Here's it. Hey, excuse me. Don't disrupt a meeting, sir. Please sit down. All right, I am in America, whether Trump likes it or not, I will state what I believe to be true. All right, hold it. Sir, that's your point of view. You're entitled to it. I'm entitled to my point of view. All right? Okay? But I don't. No, I'm sorry, you can't disrupt the meeting. Please sit down. Please sit down. Thank you. Okay, that's fine. You can leave, but don't disrupt the meeting. Okay. Thank you. Okay. All right, please don't You say, I believe in democracy. You have a right to speak, but you don't have a right to destroy. All right, calm down. Calm down. All right? In a democracy, whether Trump likes it or not, we can be critical of him or anybody else we want. Okay. Thank you very much. Sir? Okay, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Thank you very much. That's it. Thank you. Okay, we got a question. Another question? Yep, right here. Yes, ma'am. Yep. Oh no, that's, yes, right here.
Behind you?
Yep, grab the mic.
Hello, Senator. Sorry about that. That was weird. How do I follow that, actually? I don't know. Actually, my question concerns the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court?
Yeah, just something a couple of buddies of mine were talking about, and they've mentioned it on a couple podcasts I listened to. Term limits for the Supreme Court.
Good.
Is that something you're willing to at least
Well, I'll tell you
talk
what I'm
about?
willing to entertain. There is a constitutional argument to be made, and some constitutional scholars have, to say that while Supreme Court justices have lifetime appointments, it doesn't necessarily have to be just on the Supreme Court. That they can be rotated out of the Supreme Court to lesser courts. And that is something I think we should take a look at. Gentleman right here. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I just feel like that
Yes,
ignoramus
okay. All right.
interrupted our answer.
I am sorry. I am sorry. You were quite right. Historically, the United States has been kind of a beacon of light for people all over the world in terms of our belief in democracy and human rights. And as I was in the midst of saying, unfortunately, we have a president who feels more comfortable with authoritarian governments than with democratic governments. So it is amazing to me that we have a president who says kind things about Kim Jong-un from North Korea, who is really a terrible dictator, is a buddy of Putin, who is an autocrat, who seems more comfortable with people who don't believe in democracy, Duterte in the Philippines, etc. So all I can do as president is to reach out to democratic countries who have been attacked verbally by Trump over and over again. You name the country. The UK, Canada, Germany, France. I mean, these are our historical allies who share our belief in democracy. So we have a lot of work to do in restoring those historic relations, and that's certainly something very high up on my agenda. Okay. Yes, young person in the back there, stand up.
Good evening, Senator Sanders, and thank you for the time to speaking with us tonight. My name is Charlotte Flanders, and I grew up here in Ottumwa, Iowa. Currently, I'm getting my master's in public health. As you have addressed, healthcare costs is one of the most significant barriers for millions of Americans. Another factor and a big public health concern is the lack of healthcare resources among rural communities. As president, how will you provide solutions to rural communities lacking health services?
Thank you for that excellent question. As you know, rural hospitals have been shut down all across this country. And by the way, in America today, we are looking at a decline in life expectancy. Do you know that? 3 years in a row, actually going down. And one of the reasons is what's happening in rural America. So the problem now is that if you are an insurance company, you don't make money providing health care to poor people in sparsely populated areas. That's not where you make your money. When you have a Medicare for all, which is designed explicitly to provide health care for all, profiteering is not one of the motives that designs your policy. So we have got to pay a lot of attention to rural America, and that means more hospitals, it means more doctors, it means more mental health counseling, because the opioid epidemic has ravaged rural America. And it means making sure that everybody in this country, including people who are living in sparsely populated areas, get the quality health care that they need. So to answer your question, we gotta, not only do we make health care available to everybody, we're gonna pay attention to where the needs are greatest. Rural America, parts of urban America as well. Okay. Ma'am? Yep. All right, if it's okay with folks, this may be the last question because we got a kind of a long trip in front of us. Yeah.
Thank you for running, Senator Sanders. My question regarding disability reform.
Thank you.
I lost my job at 17 years after my disability got worse over the years. I have been fighting for Social Security disability for 5.5 years, and I'm still in the process of going back and back between the courts, even though vocational rehab professionals have said that with my doctor's recommendations, no job can help me or will accommodate me. So with your platform, I saw what you do after you get disability, but what are you going to help those who are trying to get disability?
Yes. By the way, have you contacted your senators or congressional offices? All right, we do that a lot. I mean, people call up our office, and sometimes the bureaucrats will listen to a senator's office or a member of Congress's office. I recommend that you do that. Secondly, you know, when Trump ran for president, he said, you recall this, he said he was a different type of Republican. He was not going to cut Medicaid, remember that? Not going to cut Medicare, not going to cut Social Security. The reality is, if you look at his budget, he has made massive, proposed, we didn't let him get away with it, proposed massive cuts to Medicaid and Medicare, and you will be unhappy to hear the Social Security Disability Fund. That's where he's going, okay? To the tunes of many billions of dollars. So, you know, we believe that in America, and by the way, I apologize, because we should have talked more about disability issues. We have a lot more people with disabilities in this country than I think many of us recognize. So our job is to make sure that those people are not discriminated against when they can work. People want to work if they can work, and if they can't work, we make sure that they receive the benefits that will enable them to live with dignity and security. All right, let me apologize for cutting it a little bit short. We got to get on the road, and I don't want you all to get home safely. I just want to thank you all for being here. It's a great turnout on a night like tonight, and to say that, you know, what makes our campaign a little bit different than other campaigns is that, needless to say, I want to win the election and beat Trump. But I also want to do something more. I want to do something more, and I would not be running for president if this was not my goal. It's not just beating Trump. It is helping to transform this country, to change our national priorities. And it's not something, you know, and I think I'm the only candidate who will tell you it's not something that just one person can do, not even a powerful president. We are in this together. We have to stand together to change our value system, change our priorities, and make sure that we have an economy and a government that work for all of us and not just wealthy campaign contributors. Thank you all very much for being here.